I mean, to say he was wrong is a little bit of an understatement there, Paul, but let's go to the caution about a second term. Pretty alarming stuff.
Yes. I mean, President Mayhem 2.0 is alarming, especially given the state of affairs in the world that we just covered and you cover every single week. I mean, Trump is the #1 national security threat for America. I think we've been talking about it on this show for years. Insiders are recognizing it, but I also think America's starting to recognize it. I mean, the stakes are different this time, and I think New Hampshire is a bit of a caution for Trump. You saw independents in particular leave him and go to Nikki Haley. I think that will reflect in the general election in November as well, when independents look at this global landscape and they say, we need stability, we need a calm head, we need someone who's not reckless and potentially collaborating with dictators. I may not like Biden, but he's better than that. I think this is starting to add up on him, and I think it's going to hurt him in the general significantly.
Opted to work for someone he knew had those sympathies. Why not interview experts on authoritarianism who did not work for authoritarians? That is also a plug on my part to buy Ruth Ben-Ghiat's book, Strong Men from Mussolini to the Present. I think implicit in there, though, is this question of, will anyone listen, right? Are there Republicans who will listen to a John Bolton because he did serve in the administration?
Yes. I think there are. And folks think there may be no more reasonable Republicans, but they are out there. And there are moderates, and there are young people who are voting for the first time, and there are independents that are 49% of the country right now that tend to focus on national security issues and tend to consider themselves patriots. And if you can just move a couple thousand of them in Ohio and other key swing states, that may be the difference in who the next commander-in-chief is. So I do think you have to double down on that. At the same time, you've got the sycophants falling in line. You've got DeSantis and the others who we now see are just going to fall in line behind him and give him that momentum. So, yes, I don't think you give up the fight on that middle, because the middle is the key battle zone in all of this.
Safe or unsafe under either a Trump or a Biden presidency, that would seem to undermine the credibility of his argument.
Yes. I mean, I'm not, putting personally a lot of stake in what John Bolton says, but I think there are some people who are moved by him. And I think the question is, can the Democrats and can all those forces that oppose Trump weaponize it in some way? We talked on this show in months past about Chris Christie. Could he take chunks out of Trump over time? Trump is like Godzilla, rampaging our future and rampaging our democracy. So I think it's right that we have to align every opponent to him to try to take him down. And if you can take little pieces off of his voting base, if you can take pieces away from his earned media, if you can take pieces away from his electoral votes, you got to do it, because the margin may be so small that that's the difference.
Paul Reichhoff, Ian Millhiser, thank you both so much for spending some time with us. Paul's latest podcast with retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, it drops tomorrow. You do not want to miss it.